Hi, this is Frederik, and this is Hansi. We're Blind Guardian, and you're watching Age of Metal.
Hansi, hello. Fred, hello. Thank you very much for taking the time. This is the first time in the last 5 years that Blind Guardian played here. Last time was in 2010 when you guys came with Holy Grail and Seven Kingdoms. How has been this tour this time around?
This time around, it has gotten even better than the last one, which was a blast already. We draw the attention of more people. The excitement was even a little higher than last time. And we faced good conditions everywhere we went. We went to beautiful places, saw nice people, and played in good venues. Everyone was well prepared, so it's going still up for Blind Guardian in the States.
Well, definitely this tour is quite German, as Gravedigger is playing with you guys as the support band. Does it make it a little bit more like home kind of style?
No. I mean, it fits perfectly well. It's a nice blend. They have a more traditional style in comparison to ours, but it's still the same sort of music, and we know each other for so long. You know, we're sort of a fellowship over the last 30 years, and that makes traveling very easy, of course. But we just felt it was a nice package for the people because Gravedigger have never been here. This idea was suggested by our tour manager in Europe, you know, that this might be a good option for both bands, and Chris luckily immediately agreed, so there was no need for another band anymore.
Good, that's great. Now definitely the tour package is perfect if you love heavy metal, power metal.
Right, I think so too.
From your perspective, what is the difference between touring in the United States and touring in Europe?
I would say we have a little more back-to-back shows. This is a little bit more compressed, and then of course the distances are far bigger here, so we have a lot of more days that are called days off, but they actually are travel days, so you have less recreation time, and it's a little bit more demanding physically, but I would still say for the people coming to the shows and the venues themselves, they're, I would say, kind of comparable.
Have you guys had the time to, look around and explore cities when you come and travel?
Oh, we've been in the States so many times. Yes, of course, we have a little time during such a long tour. But on the other hand, we started in South America prior to the Northern American dates, and so everyone is pretty much exhausted, especially at this stage of the tour, because next week we're finally going home again. And it's unfortunately during that time it's getting less and less, but I saw some nice spots in Montana. Of course, once you're in New York, you cannot avoid enjoying New York, and there are some other places like San Francisco, blah blah blah, some landscapes as well. So we've had a good time, and before we started, we had a few days off, and everyone was free to go wherever he wanted to. I stayed in Florida because I like the weather conditions there. They're pretty good for vocalists. And the other guys went to New Orleans. You went to New Jersey, I think.
Nice. That's good. You guys have time to explore the States, to explore the culture. Now, I've been restraining myself to looking at the set list, but how difficult it gets to put a set list for this tour with so many albums out, and with a new album that was just released at the beginning of the year.
It's not that easy because we are capable of playing, let's say, 40, 45 songs of our repertoire. So we could make a quite different selection every night. We decide to keep a stable foundation on every night, which is pretty much the same, and then just switch a few positions in the set. And actually, I figured that it doesn't make a big difference which of the 30 or 40 songs we're playing. The people appreciate more. I think in the history of Blind Guardian, there is not really a song which can be described as, B song, and people figure that. And so when we set up whatever songs for an evening, there will be plenty of sing-alongs. And my impression is, especially here in the States, or actually everywhere, that people like to sing along.
Yeah.
And so this is the main focus when we're playing.
Now, Beyond the Red Mirror, it's a fantastic album. Since the first time that I listened to it, I was just thrilled by the whole album from beginning to end, even with long songs, 9-minute songs. How has been the fan reception to the album?
I'd say good. I would say the same about any album we have released so far. You always find a major amount of people who need like 2-3 listens before they get into it. But once they really understood what we are trying to deliver, they fall in love with the stuff. And this has been the case with Beyond the Red Mirror, which from my point of view belongs to the 3 best albums we have ever done. And that's just an impression. I would say that the core fan as well as new fans follow my impression.
I got actually comments by fans saying they pointed out that was their favorite album so far, and they found it a masterpiece that we published so far. So it was happening a lot, especially in the US here.
Good. That's great to hear. How many songs from the album we're going to be hearing tonight?
There will be 3 songs. In Europe we played one more, which was Miracle Machine, but due to some traveling circumstances, and then at a certain point of this tour, everyone got ill. We had to make decision how to set up the nicest set for the people and the best doable set as well for such a long period. In addition, we started rehearsing Holy Grail, which will be the next one to be added. I don't think that this will be an option for the next 5 US shows, but later on in the year we do have some more shows in Europe, and I'm pretty sure it's going to make the premiere within the year.
Gotcha. Definitely. Okay, Blind Guardian, along with bands like Halloween and Gamma Ray, are pretty much the founders of power metal, German power metal, and being along for a long time. But in your experience, what is your opinion of new bands like Edguy, Powerwolf, Organ bands like Extremo?
I mean, yeah, it's a different generation, and they grew up with listening. I mean, I'm myself a different generation, no offense. So I actually grew up with listening to Blind Guardian.
Yeah.
So that definitely influenced you, and I think the later you were born as a musician, the harder it gets to come up with something really new and outstanding, and like to create something that hasn't been there, or like find your own style, because the influences are so much more and bigger. But I think they did good at like in Extremos, for instance, as you named it, a very special band for finding their own style and creating that kind of medieval folkloristic with combining with metal. So this is something that's been like that before, and like Powerwolf, for instance, they try to go the classic way and find their to kind of revive that old spirit of classic metal.
All right. As a music consumer, what bands you have listened lately?
I listened to the last Sanctuary album, for example.
Okay. Wow.
I do listen to quite a lot of metal bands these days. Luckily, we have a record company, Blast, which provides us with all this stuff. So I'm familiar with whatever Halloween is releasing, Threshold, doesn't matter. It comes to my table to a certain point, and I'm listening to it.
What about Frederik?
I just since we're working on live albums, I just checked some live albums of other bands. So, for instance, Soilwork I was listening to a lot, and for not live albums, it's not metal, but I love definitely listening to Porcupine Tree. That was kind of the biggest thing for my latest past.
Now, Hansi, this is, I think it's a question that comes to recalls and about the time, but are there any updates on the Demons or Research project?
Yeah, yes, we met here on this US tour, and we constantly phone each other. It is going to happen. We are both aware of the need, not only our own need, but also the need of the fans to get a sequel to album we've done so far. It is a question of time. It has been during the last 5 years. Pretty sure we'll catch up next year, and then we hopefully will be able to release something in 2017. That is the major plan we have set up, but it still continues some gaps which we have to fill somehow.
Now, the time to write and time to create music, how do you get those creative juices flowing? Do you have some sort of regular creative routine that you follow, or some sort of path?
Professional thing, pretty much. You know, it's like, I think every good storyteller or writer sits down and is doing nothing else but writing for a while. Then you need to take a break and you do whatever you want to do. You go home, you go shopping, you go drinking a beer, you experience different countries, whatever you're doing. But important are these essential moments where you just keep your focus on being creative and really trying to come up with something. These magic moments on the toilet where you invent a song are rare. I think in the history of all human mankind they are rare, and they have been rare in my case as well. I can recall two songs which I have had invented in a sort of leisure time situation where really things came up, and I know Andre has dreamt like 2 or 3 pieces of our music before he laid that down. But in general, it's sitting down, keeping your focus on the music, or listening to yourself and trying to express something which you want to let out. And all of a sudden something appears. That is the regular case for me, at least. And it demands a lot of discipline, because I go into the studio each day around morning time and I leave at evening. And I do that 5-6 times a week. And the other guys are pretty much the same. I don't know exactly how you do it.
Yeah, but I have to make room time-wise for those ideas too. Like you cannot expect that the ideas come to you while, as Hansi said, like you're shopping or something, and you just need room. And this is especially time that you are not being disturbed by anything else.
Gotcha. Now, the United States is a little bit more followed by death metal and thrash metal bands, and we know they're a little bit more extreme. But from time to time, you see promising power metal bands out there. And what is your advice to these kind of bands that came out and want to follow the footsteps of Blind Guardian?
Well, be creative, be yourself. That is, in general, I think, for each kind of music, probably the magical recipe, you could say. If you are not able to create something which makes you different from other projects, you will not make it. No matter how good you can copy Blind Guardian or Halloween or Metallica or which band, Judas Priest, it doesn't matter. It won't make it in the very end. You might be able to succeed for a while, and you may even get a record deal, but in the long run, it doesn't make it. Even if you look at new bands, let's say for instance Volbeat, which would come to my mind, you can figure which are their favorite bands without any doubt, but they've added something in addition, and this makes the difference. And this would be my advice to all bands: try to figure what is making you special.
Now, closing up, I understand that for next year, it's been announced that you guys are going to be at Hellfest and Sweden Rock. What other plans are in the pipeline for Blind Guardian next year?
We started recording all shows on this tour,
okay.
So this will be something we want bring to an end in the beginning of the next year in finalizing these recording shows by finding the best selection and then doing the mixing and then releasing a live album. Other than that, I can see a lot of festivals, not only the two you've mentioned. Europe is full of festivals, and we have been confirmed for quite a lot of them. Wacken would be the biggest one, but there are certainly many more. And we may, as it looks now, find the chance to come back to the US, and maybe 1 year from now, September, October, I could imagine that we do the second one.
Yeah, because 5 years is a long wait.
5 years is a long way, and once we start the songwriting, I believe, then it's going to take however it takes, Personally, it's not anything we're intending to do. It's not like we have to be away for 4 or 5 years. I think it's healthy to, not over tour any place on this planet. It's not well done by many bands, which exhaust the market. Still, there's a little space for us to do on the US tour, I would say.
Well, definitely, Hansi, Frederik, thank you very much. Definitely looking forward to not only listen Blind Guardian for the first time, but also to listen for the new album tonight. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Enjoy.